Hello everybody, this is Excalibur of Excalibur Zone Gaming, and we have another What's the Combo. I really must apologize that the episode is coming out late, but I actually had a lot of stuff to do the past couple of days with my day job, and I was unable to keep up with the recording schedule that I really enjoy doing. I have to pay the bills, you know how that is. Well, today's combo comes from my Grimgrin deck, and it's a way to kill everybody at the table by pretty much milling their life. That's right, milling their life. And you need these three cards. You need Mind Crank, you need Duskmantled Guildmage, and you need Dry Spell. So you need to be able to get the Duskmantled Guildmage out and activate his ability, and then smack somebody with Dry Spell. So at the very least, this is a mid-range combo. But what's going to happen is, well, Mind Crank, as you can see, whenever an opponent loses life, that player puts that many cards from the top of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Pretty cool. So whenever an opponent loses life, they mill one card per life. Now, Duskmantled Guildmage says whenever a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere this turn, that player loses a life. So as you can see, this becomes an infinite combo if you do a minimum of 1 damage to an opponent. And that's where Dry Spell comes in. If you can keep this combo out for 1 turn, and then you activate this with 5 mana, which is very easy in blue-black. If you have Dark Ritual or something like that, you just need the blue and a Dark Ritual, and then 1 additional mana, and well, a couple additional manas. But you see what's going on. I think 1 in blue will get you 3 in blue. So you need 2 in a blue to do the sun. So you can do it on 3 mana if you have Dark Ritual in your hand. In any case, what's going to happen is Dry Spell is going to deal 1 damage to each creature and each player. Your Duskmantled Guildmage is going to survive, but you activate his ability first. Get that in the board state. And then you cast Dry Spell. So if anybody happens to damage or get rid of your Duskmantled Guildmage, with a 1-point spell or something like that, it's not going to kill him. And the cool thing is that 1 point triggers this. The card goes into the graveyard, and then the Duskmantled Guildmage pings the person. So all your opponents will just bleed out their decks, or their decks will bleed them out, because by this time they should still have well over 50 cards in hand. And those who have a lot of life will end up milling their deck out. And when it comes around to their turn, they will try to draw from an empty deck, unless they have something like Kozilek or Sarah Avatar or a Blightsteel Colossus. Anything that shuffles a graveyard or the card back into the library, if it goes to the graveyard, will work in your advantage, because the card will hit the graveyard and then it'll go back into the deck. And then when you get to that card again, it'll go into the graveyard, then into the deck. And Mind Crank and Duskmantled Guildmage will continue to bleed them out. So even if they have infinite life and they've got Kozilek or something else that shuffles everything in, well, Kozilek's going to be really tough. It's either Kozilek or Ulamog that takes the entire graveyard and puts it back in. And that's going to be a lot of shuffling. But when this kicks off, you say, okay, you've got infinite life. Well, this is going to go until that infinite life runs out. And they've got to come up with a finite number anyway. It's got to be some arbitrarily high number. It can't be truly infinite. So you're doing an arbitrarily high number amount of damage. So whatever number they said their life was when they started out, that's how much damage you do. And I'd say just double that, so that they don't pull any shenanigans like doubling their life total at the last minute or something like that. The only real thing that's going to stop this is, well, you can't respond to a trigger, and this is going to they can respond to the activation of this, but they cannot respond to the trigger. Once it starts, it immediately wipes everybody out. So that is this combo. It's a really quick video, but some of these combos are just that dirt simple. You can do things like put Pestilence out into play, do 1 point of damage to everybody, and then Duskmantle, Guildmage, and Mindcrank kick off. A lot of you might not know what I'm talking about with Pestilence. Let me just filter. We'll get rid of that. Past black, okay. And I think it costs 4. That's what's going on here. So we'll set this back greater than or equal to 0. And you'll see Pestilence. I'll use the alpha and get that up in there. And here we go. This is what Pestilence does. For a black, do 1 damage to each creature and to both players. It's actually, if we go and bring up our database here, you'll see it here. The Oracle says, at the beginning of the end step, no creatures are on the battlefield. Sacrifice Pestilence. That changes how that works. And then Pestilence deals 1 damage to each creature and each player. So this will kick off the whole combo as well. There are a lot of cards that do 1 point of damage to everybody. You can use Exsanguinate. You can use a bunch of different cards that just, even targeted cards. If you just want to get rid of 1 player, you just target them with 1 point of damage. A shock will do it. Anything. You're running blue-black, most of your damage is going to be straight in the black area. I think there's some counter spells in blue that do damage, so you could actually do that in response to them trying to get rid of a Duskmantle Guildmage or something like that. You counter the spell and do damage to them, and then they bleed out. So this is a pretty deadly combination. These two right here. And one of the other things is, if you have, I think it's Exquisite Blood, you'll gain infinite life. Just one of those triggers. And if somebody happens to stop it after a certain amount before they die, you'll have so much life it'll be hard to get rid of them except through commander damage and infect, or milling you out, or some other secondary win condition. So this has been What's the Combo? Until next time, enjoy playing games, enjoy playing Magic. Please like, favorite, and subscribe. It really helps me out, so I know that people are actually watching my stuff and are interested in the information I'm putting out. Please take a moment and explore my Patreon page. Half of all my net funds that I get from Patreon after taxes and fees go to charity. And if you decide to become a patron, you'll be able to help not only me, but a bunch of other people. As always, this is Excalibur, and I'm out.